Daily Broadside to 844. You know, of all the doctor specialties, I don't understand podiatry. I feel like I could be a podiatrist today. I was looking into some of that stuff, and I'm like, why does this require 19 years of schooling? It's a foot. It's not that big a deal, you know? There's nothing that podiatry really does that's that impressive. I mean, you get a bunion, sand that bitch off. I mean, I've seen people do that stuff with like 80 grit sandpaper, you know, just put it on a little orbital sander, just grind her down, you know. If you get an athlete's foot, sounds to me like you need to start wearing flip-flops or slides or something at the Y when you're bathing in the shower room. You know, plantar fasciitis, stay off your heels for a while. Just take a rest for a couple weeks on the couch. Just quit walking. It won't hurt, you know. Onychomosis, or however you say it. You just need to stop being nasty. You got fungus on your feet growing. That's just gross. That goes right back to the athlete's foot, you know. Hammer toe. Quit running into beds and stuff in the middle of the night. I don't know how you got that crap. Toe out here just hanging a left, you know, dogwood, dog leg left. It's just, I'm saying, like, nothing in the foot. Like, I feel like you could just glove me up. I'll go into surgery today. I mean, how hard could it be to, like, reattach a tendon to something with all these crazy, and plus everything's laparoscopic. You going into the foot through a little hole in the toe or something. You ain't even in there doing nothing. You just running a robot over at an iPad. It's done. All I'm saying is podiatry is like the lowest of the low. You know how Seinfeld was against dermatology? Dermatology's like several layers above, you know? Skin cancer, remember? You know, that's all I'm saying. And if you had to ask me, and you don't, but if you had to ask me, man, who are the hottest cartoon females? That's Jim from Jim and the Holograms. She can get all that makeup off her eyes, but otherwise a very attractive lady. And Eon Flux. Those are the two choices. There's really not much else to choose from. And have you ever noticed that people from India like seem to smoke like crazy, but Indians that live in America, you rarely see them smoke. A lot of them are podiatrists, believe it or not, little known fact. But I just find that to be strange. And I think COVID has ruined us from handshaking safely. Ever since COVID, like every time I meet someone and I have to shake their hand, I have this like sense in my head like, man, you're spreading germs and nobody wants to shake hands anymore, and that's just gone the way of the dodo bird and all. And it just makes me feel weird, and I don't like that. I don't like shaking hands to begin with, but you know, it's perfunctory sometimes. You know, in certain instances, you should always stand up when you shake hands. So don't ever do it. It's just from a seated position. And lastly, I was eating something the other day. It was I got this restaurant near me that they always have like custom stuff, and they had a pasta with fried chicken with Texas Pete mixed into the sauce, and then kind of an Alfredo-y type stuff with like pancetta and sun-dried tomatoes with like, what's it, gorgonzola? I don't know, some kind of cheese, and it was phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. But I'm sitting there eating sun-dried tomatoes, and I don't like tomatoes that aren't cooked. I don't know if a sun-dried tomato is raw or cooked. It's kind of somewhere in between. But a raw tomato makes me want to vomit in my own mouth. But cooked tomato is okay. But I'm eating these sun-dried tomatoes, and I started thinking, I was like, you know, there's a lot of things that have sun-dried tomatoes in it. Where is the sun-dried tomato factory? Because to sun-dry tomatoes, you've got to put the tomatoes, wait for it, out in the sun. And if you've got, you know, a big factory where you're just pumping out tomatoes, that's great. But if you got to get them out in the sun, like I wonder if it's like one of those NFL stadiums that they can just roll the grass field out into the parking lot and let it like grow and then bring it back inside. Like, how are they getting, I mean, because if you think about like somebody that sells like mass amounts of something that has sun-dried tomatoes in it, like sun-dried tomato dressings and stuff. So to get an ample supply of sun-dried tomatoes, you've got to have like hundreds of acre of land with, I guess, just tables full of sun-dried tomatoes. They got to sit out there for like I don't know how long it takes to sun-dry tomato, like 3-4 days maybe, I'd guess. And how do you stop the animals? I mean, the crows and the ravens and the magpies be coming in droves just to eat all the sun-dried tomatoes. You come out there, you're like, damn it, all of our products. And who's slicing all these bastards and laying them out on the table? I'm just envisioning, like, literally, like, just fields and fields of tables, kind of like a table you'd see, just a homemade table that somebody made in their backyard out of some scrap plywood and some 2x that you'd see at like a flea market setting up a booth. And it's just hundreds of these things covered in sun-dried tomatoes, and then they come back inside and I guess they brush the pollen off of. I don't know what's going on, but sun-dried tomato factory people, y'all got some crazy secrets, and you need to let us in on what's. I may be the only person that's interested, but nevertheless, that's where we're at today. All right, get him.